Hi, I'm Chad Grant. I'm executive chef at Aperitif Restaurant and Bar. Today we're going to go over a very Mediterranean style shrimp dish that we have on our menu, and it's one of those dishes that is very easy to recreate at home as well. Starting off, we have some Mexican white wild shrimp. Very nice tender shrimp, very high quality. Roasted tomatoes, fennel. For those of you that don't know what fennel is, it looks like this. Very nice vegetable, has kind of a licoricey sweet flavor. The stalks can be used as garnish, and you can also do a variety of different things with them, but the source of most of the flavor is right here in the bulb, and it's very much like an onion in structure. Butter, it's a good idea to cube it up ahead of time so it's really easy and it melts. And we have herbes de Provence. You can find this pre-mixed. We make our own in-house, but you can find herbes de Provence in the grocery store in the spice aisle as well. So what we're going to do first is get a pan that's nice and hot, and we take our shrimp. They're peeled, deveined, ready to go, and we have grapeseed oil, which is a really nice frying oil. You don't want to use an extra virgin olive oil when you do things like this because there's so many flavors in it that they'll just get lost with it. So we start off with a little oil, maybe about 2 teaspoons. Add the shrimp in there. And you hear the sizzle, that means your pan's nice and hot and you're ready to go, which is a good thing. Instantly, what I like to do is go with a little bit of salt. You're probably going to want to use maybe just a teaspoon of salt and maybe half a teaspoon of pepper, just to get your shrimp nice and seasoned. And we start to get those going in the pan. So the shrimp are starting to cook in the pan. You can see they start to curl a little bit on the sides. That means you're getting really close to them being fully cooked. They do not take long to cook at all, and you definitely don't want to overcook them. So we got those in the pan now. We can start to add some of the other ingredients, which is fennel, right in the pan. That'll start to soften up, and it'll add a little bit of sweetness in the pan and some texture to the overall dish as well. So we want to cook that for maybe about another 30 seconds until the fennel starts to soften. So right now we're cooking the fennel. We can add the herbs. You want to add, probably a tablespoon because you really want that herb flavor to come out in the dish. So we got, and then what we have here, as you can see in the bottom of the pan, now don't be afraid if this happens at home because this is actually a lot of flavor. It's called a fond, and it basically is it's a lot of flavor that the shrimp leave in the pan. And when we're making a pan sauce like this, it's a good thing. It's not burnt. It's not going to leave any burnt flavor at all. It can definitely go too far with that, but what we have here is your shrimp are 3/4 of the way cooked. Now what we're going to do is a technique called deglazing, where we take our white wine, and then you can kind of swirl it like that. What I just did there is now we're picking up all that flavor off the bottom of the pan. As you can see, it's gone off the pan, and now we're starting to build a sauce. The next step, we can add some chopped tomatoes. These are roasted tomatoes, Roma tomatoes that we roast with a little bit of salt, olive oil, and some herbs for a little additional flavor. So what you can see now is that the liquid of the wine is starting to disappear in the pan. That's called a reduction, where it's actually a concentration of flavor. So the flavors are really starting to build in the pan. Now we can add our tomato juice. And this is a dish that you would find in the southeast of France. And it's very, very flavorful. And it's also very healthy. This is a typical Mediterranean dish where the vegetables and the technique is what makes the dish shine. So what we want to do now is bring that up to a simmer. The shrimp are already cooked. And then we finish it with a little bit of butter. And that gives it a velvety texture and also a little more richness to the sauce. When you add the butter, you want to take it off of the heat and just slowly let it melt in there. And what I'm doing is swirling. What you're doing is turning the butter back into its cream form and just adding richness to the sauce. So this is Shrimp Provencal. And there we have it. Shrimp Provencal.